Welcome to Sheltered In with the Knightons. This is what we do, and this is how we do it. Come on. That's right.
Come on in.
Come on.
That was a good conversation tonight. As always.
Because tonight, we talking about what? Lust, lies, and loneliness. So, I'm Tracy Knighton. I'm a licensed professional counselor in the state of Georgia, soon to be South Kakalaki in about 2 months. Yes, I will be licensed in South Kakalaki in about 2 more months.
And we going from there to North Kakalaki.
That's right, North Kakalaki, you are next. So, that's who I am. I'm also co-owner of Nova Counseling and Consulting Services, LLC, and Nova stands for No One Ventures Alone. Okay,
and my name is Lawrence Knighton. I am the enlightenment specialist. I like to try to enlighten people with this My Relationship movement, and that's what I'm here to do tonight. I'm also an author of an awesome book called If It's Love, It Will Last. And last but not least, well, not last but not least, I got a lot of other titles, but I'm also a pastor. I'm just a real one, that's all. I'm a pastor. This year will be 15 years. I believe in keeping things real.
Ooh, that's right.
Because we need real conversation. You know, sometimes we can over-spiritualize a lot of things, and people are dealing with real issues, and you can't tell people, just pray about it. No. People need to know how to deal with real issues. So we're going to get started. I don't know what introduction she got tonight, but she's going to come up with something, and we're going to walk right into this conversation about marching away from lust, lies, and loneliness.
So, tonight we are talking about marching out of lies, lust, and loneliness. Because we get so caught up in entanglements, situationships, whatever y'all want to call them ships. We get so caught up, and what ends up happening is we end up getting hurt from lust, lies, and loneliness. So we want to take this opportunity to march out of it because we want you to spring in something new. Some of y'all just need to do something new. Some of y'all need to take a detox, take a cleanse, do a fast, whatever it is that you need to do to be able to march out of these lies, lust, and loneliness to be able to spring into something new. So I wanted to talk about real quick. Lawrence and I are actually getting ready to start a cleanse tomorrow. It's a juice cleanse. And the reason we decided to do that was because we had a lot of crap happen last year. So what ended up happening, for those of you who don't know, what was it, January 1st?
January 1st.
January 1. January 1. Yeah. But you actually did start last year. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So January 1, this dude right here goes to the doctor, goes to Phoebe Convenient Care. And he think he's just going for his usual, which is a sinus infection, which we both get twice a year because we live in South Georgia and our snow is yellow and it's called pollen. And so what ends up happening is 2 times a year, nature kicks in and we have to go get these wonderful shots that help us deal with our allergies. But it only happens twice a year. It's amazing. So it was his time. So he goes to the doctor in December and the doctor forgets to call in the prescription. So he's still got this cough, which is usually one of the symptoms that he has for his sinus infection. Roll forward, that was December 31st.
Yes.
And then January 1st, because he didn't have a prescription, we decided he would go to Phoebe Convenient Care to go to another doctor to get this prescription so we can get this cough taken care of. Lo and behold, he's at Phoebe Convenient Care, and he calls me. He's in my tea. I said, yeah, honey. I said, they gave you medicine? He says, no. I said, well, why not? He said, I got COVID.
I got COVID.
For those of you who don't know, my husband is very, very silly and very, very funny. So, I thought he was joking. Like, I really thought he was joking. And he says, no, I'm serious. I still thought he was joking. And he says, T, no. And his tone got real serious on me. He says, I have COVID. And I said, what? So, he does what he needs to do. He comes on home. I get dressed. I go get tested. I don't have COVID. The next day, our daughter goes get tested, which is January 2nd. She tests positive for COVID. So for the first 22 days, no, for the first 19 days, because you got on 19.
I got on 18.
Got on 18. For the first month of January, for the first month of 2021, we're dealing with COVID. Listen, this dude had to be hospitalized. He had to get steroids. And the reason I'm telling you all of this
Okay.
backstory is simply because this. At some point, you have to do a cleanse to be able to get all of that toxicity out of you. Now, here's the thing. COVID came in and it tapped. It didn't come in like a storm. It didn't come in all beat down and knocking the front door down. No, COVID simply knocked. It started with a cough. And then the cough went to a fever. And then the fever went to just him being lethargic. And then him being lethargic went to having pneumonia. Then him having pneumonia went to him having double pneumonia. And then having to be hospitalized. You see how I'm progressing here? One thing led to the next, that led to the next, that led to the next, with him being hospitalized for 6 days. And don't make me get started on that hospital bill because it already came. But anyway, 6 days in the hospital. And guess what? He still had lingering effects even though he got out. And what am I saying all that? Because when you get in relationships, sometimes relationships come in like a flood. And then sometimes relationships get started with the lies, then the lust, and then the loneliness, and you're left with the depression that follows all of that. And so just like with the COVID, we have to do a detox to help him get out all of those steroids that he had and all of the side effects from the medication that he had to take. So tonight, what we're going to do is help you start that detox by helping you to get the tools that you need to be able to march out of those lies, that lust, and that loneliness so that you can spring into something new. Because we're hoping after this cleanse that we go on for the next few days, we will be able to be lighter. We'll be able to think clearer. We'll be able to have more energy, and we'll be able to spring into something new. So that's our logic tonight for giving you this title, Marching Out of Lies, Lust, and Loneliness, because we want you to lighten up for spring. And sometimes lightening up for spring means you got to, leave some stuff behind. You got to do a cleanse. You got to detox. You got to hit the reset button. And that might mean letting go of a relationship that started with lies, that led to lust, and now is leaving you lonely. What do you want to see in the spring? Who do you want to be in the spring? That's what we're doing tonight. So we hope y'all got pen and paper ready, because, hey, it's about to get loose.
Now, let me just say, while she went through all of that, when the doctor actually told me I actually had COVID, just so you'll know now, I never took about trouble. So what we need to do? He said, well, we're going to have to keep you in the hospital. I said, okay, let's go.
Yep.
I mean, I'm fine with that. Because a positive mindset will change any situation. Hear me now?
That's it.
A positive mindset will change any situation. Not one time was I worried. One time did I think, I don't know if I'm going to make it home. No, I ain't never had that cross my mind. Now, let me get started with my conversation. How many of you, ladies or men,
okay,
in this day and age, it doesn't even matter. How many of you, before we get started, because first one we're going to deal with is lies. How many of you watching us tonight, how many of y'all have ever dealt with or still dealing with lies in a relationship? Like past tense, present, and probably in the future. How many of you have dealt with lies in a relationship?
Yeah.
Have dealt with lies.
Dealt with lies in a relationship.
Come on, dealt with lies. Just hit that.
Stop playing.
I want to make sure I'm talking to y'all. I want to make sure on the same page before we get started now. Have dealt with lies. Have dealt with lies.
Yeah.
And the reason why I wanted to deal with that, because we realized that in relationships, and I'm speaking from an enlightenment specialist perspective. In relationships,
honey.
that most times, I ain't gonna say this in all cases, but in a lot of cases, men, when they meet someone, they never bring the real them to the relationship. When they meet you for the first time, they never bring the real them. And in defense of the men, most times women never bring the real them to the relationship.
Yes, we do.
Not the real them. Hear me good now. And the reason why I say that, hear me now, is because most times we're trying to make an impression.
Yes.
We're trying to make this grand impression when we first meet a person. So we're really not being upfront and honest even when we meet a person for the most part. And I'm not saying all, but that's how we generally start relationships off. So you got to think about it. If I'm not bringing the real me to the relationship, I've already started out with a lie. Did I just say that already? Oh, I think I'm about to be on something right now. So here's the thing that I'm saying. If I never bring the real me because I have an ulterior motive, and again, I'm not saying that's all, because most times men, when we see somebody we want to meet, we want to talk to, most times we have an ulterior motive. And in most instances, it's not when we first meet you that our motive is to make you our wife. Hello, somebody. Are y'all listening to me?
Wait.
No, I don't want to skip over that.
I need you to go back and
okay,
get
go
that.
back. Go back and get that.
Because most times we get excited because a man paying attention to us,
Sure.
and we already got the wedding dress and the wedding date and where we want to go for our honeymoon. But you just said that most times when a man meets a woman, he's not set out to make her his wife.
Oh, no. In most instances, no. It's definitely not about making you his wife when he first meets you.
Okay.
That's and again, I'm not saying that's in all cases, but about 95% of the cases, our mindset is not on making you our wife when we first meet you.
Okay.
Y'all stop playing. Now you know it too, just like he do. Just stop playing. And the thing that we got to do, we got to get to the point where we recognize, ladies. I'm talking to y'all now. I'm talking to y'all, ladies. You have to get to the point where you recognize that you're old enough now to recognize game. But sometimes you put on blinders because of loneliness or because of whatever, you put on blinders and don't want to see the truth.
I don't want to see the truth.
So what I'm trying to do tonight is help all of us to understand that when you deal with lies, now let's go a little further, because a lot of times even in relationships, a person gets caught up in something, they tell a lie, and then what ends up happening is what little trust that you did have, now your trust has dissolved, to the point where you're wondering, do I keep on with the relationship or do I just let it go? And so now you got time invested, and now you're saying to yourself, wow, okay, I'm stuck in the middle of this situation, and the reason why I got here is because of lust. Did I say that? I'm not saying nothing else for the next few minutes. I'm going to let her talk, okay?
What? But see, I want to go back and grab, I want to go back and actually add to something you were talking about.
All right, let's go.
Is when we talk about women, what we're looking for in a relationship is actually trust.
Sure.
And so you're telling us that usually when a man starts a relationship, he's not starting out with the real him. Whereas a lady, we start out being just almost transparent.
Sure.
Because we're falling for everything that the man is saying to us.
In most instances,
and it feels good. So what ends up happening is we trust too early.
No question.
And when we start trusting too early, safety, for women, trust equals safety.
For sure.
So I feel like if I'm trusting you, and you're safe at that point.
Okay.
But the truth of the matter is that men aren't the same way. Men are not looking for trust in a relationship.
Well, they're looking for trust,
not in the beginning.
Not initially.
Right, not initially.
Most
Ladies,
not
did
initially.
y'all get that? Because you going all in, oh, I can trust him. Oh, I love him, and now he's safe. And and Big Brother LK is saying to us, listen, a man ain't even got that far yet. And you already got the wedding dress picked out, and you ready to take his name, and he ain't even ready to give you a title yet. So what ends up happening is you put your trust in the wrong place at first.
No question.
And so now you've got all this time and energy invested, and then when he gets ready to exit stage right because you caught him in a lie, now you want to say, oh, what happened? But you started out wrong. He started out wrong lying to you, and you started out wrong trusting the wrong person at the wrong time.
So here's the thing, ladies. Hear me good on this. Most times, and we talked about this in one other session. I can't remember what the title of the session is, but most times, hear me, ladies. Most times, you give of yourself emotionally. Mm-hmm. You give of yourself sexually. Mm-hmm. You give of yourself sometimes in ways that you should not give, especially when you really don't know them.
Right.
Hear me now.
Right.
Now, when you start saying stuff like, well, let me just say it just like I really want to say it. Most times, women, when you guys call yourself, you know a person or you know the guy, you know him from a shallow perspective. Ooh. You never hardly get into any deep conversation. I'm going to tell you why. Because he's not going to just off the cuff start soliciting that kind of information to you, because any man is not going to just delve all of his information to you in the first month or two. He's just not going to do it. I don't care what y'all say.
But he's listening to you to
he
reel
listens to
you
everything
in.
you say to reel you in. And that's why there's questions asked during the dating process. So what do you like?
Yeah.
Questions like that are asked because I want to be able to give you what you like so I can get what I want.
Ooh.
Let the church say amen.
Amen.
Can I say that one more time for the people in the back?
Really
For y'all, those of y'all here in the back who keep ignoring me. The reason why he asking questions like, so what do you like to do? So what do you like to do? So what, he's asking that so that he can put that, let me say it like this, so he can regurgitate what you like back to you so that you can become more emotionally attached so he can get more physically attached.
Come on now. Remember, men are hunters. And we're not dogging men.
We're not, we ain't dogging men at all.
Listen, we're not
I'm
dogging
just telling
men.
the truth.
Because the truth of the matter is, some of these ladies out here nowadays are just as shallow and calculative and what's the word? Manipulative as a man. And so what ends up happening is you'll find a woman who's very detached. And you're trying to figure out, well, what happened to her? That's because probably along the way, a man did something to hurt her. So she's figured out, if I don't attach, if I just get what I need out of you, which is money, if I just get what I need out of you, which is your bank account, if I just get what I need out of you is these shallow things that I think I want to make me feel good, my rent's paid, I got a cell phone or whatever it is. Most women are not like that. And if you find a woman who's like that, I guarantee you there's trauma in her background and there's a heartbreak in her background.
I am not an expert, I'm just experienced. So here's my experience about to talk to you. You find very few men who says I'm not interested in wasting her time. And I'm telling you the only reason why he can say that is because he's been through enough bad relationships that he's saying, now I need to find somebody who I can really put my time in, invest my time in, who really wants the same thing I want. Because a man who's been hurt like he has, hear me now, hurt like he has with women, because he had to deal with some other things in his own personal life. That's why he's at that spot now. Or let's say it like this: most time, the reason why men get to the point where they don't want to waste somebody's time is because now they're in their 50s and 60s and they see themselves going down the ladder instead of going up the ladder. And so now they got to find somebody. Who am I going to get old with? Because they know that time is not on their side anymore. Say amen.
Amen. Did y'all get that?
Y'all gonna make me cut the food up in here. Just like a woman. If a woman has been through so many bad things, she's saying to herself, I am not wasting no more time with a man who I can sniff. The only thing he wants is to sniff me. Did I say that? I'm sorry. Take that off the tape. Take that off. I'm sorry.
I'm blinking. I'm just gonna blink off that one. So listen, those are the lies that we tell. Those are the lies that start those relationships. Anytime a relationship is started in lies, it's a faulty foundation. And so I heard you say, well, what about the little white lies? Listen, too many little white lies still make a crack in the foundation. Too many little white lies still make a crack in the foundation. So now you got to decide whether or not you can trust this person because you caught them in a lie. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but where does that leave you when it comes to safety in your relationship? And even when it comes to a man who's been hurt is actually more sensitive when it comes to a relationship than a woman that's been hurt, because women are so forgiving. But a man is not proper for a man, meaning society doesn't look favorably at a man who walks around with a broken heart. And so now he enters a relationship and he can't decide what he's supposed to do with it. So what ends up happening is he doesn't know how to engage in the relationship at a level that makes him feel safe.
That's true.
Okay? So men, once their hearts have been broken, it takes a lot more for them to figure out that they can, number one, trust you, and that trust can build to make him feel safe and secure in that relationship. So ladies, like I always tell you, if you go back and watch some of our previous episodes, you'll hear me tell you time and time again, if you want a man to open up and be open and honest with you, if you want a man to share his emotions, which he stopped sharing when he was 4 years old, you got to create the environment that lets him be able to do that. And creating that environment means you don't throw it back up in his face when you get pissed at him. That's not a safe environment. And so what ends up happening is if he bears his soul to you, and you turn around and you throw it back up in his face when you get mad, listen, you broke all trust and safety for him. It's a wrap.
And that works both ways too, though.
Absolutely, but it's harder for a man.
No question.
Yeah, it's absolutely harder for a man.
And let me go a little further with that, because I was talking to somebody just the other day, and it was a young lady who I actually grew up with in church, in youth ministry, and she was saying that her friend ends up one time sort of trying to see if she literally worked until a specific time. He said, I rode by there and your car wasn't there. And I said to her, just with that one statement, I said, that's a man who's already had his heart broken by a woman.
Yeah.
Because he's taken his lack of trust from that relationship to you.
Right.
Because if he says, I had to ride by to see if you were there, that's a man who deals with a trust issue.
Yeah.
Are y'all listening to me? I'm trying to help you understand the signs.
Remember, trust equals safety.
I'm trying to help y'all understand the signs. You better listen to me. I'm an enlightenment specialist. I'm not an expert. I'm just experienced. And no, I ain't been heartbroken.
See? And so lies, when we deal with the lies, then we got to deal with the lust. So let's talk a little bit about the lust. Because lust is truthful. Lust and love. Our
first cousin, you can't tell the difference sometimes.
Sometimes you can't tell the difference.
And sometimes what y'all calling love ain't nothing but lust.
That's it. So, I heard you. Okay, I got you. So let me tell you what lust is. Let me give you the true definition of lust. Y'all ready? Okay, so here's the definition of lust. Lust is an intense sexual attraction to another person. Now, here's the definition of love. Love is a secure attachment that involves a deep affection, trust, and acceptance of a person. Guess what? Flaws and all. Did y'all catch that?
Say it one more time for people in the back.
Okay, let me say it one more time for the people in the back. Here's the definition of love. Love is defined as a secure. Remember, we just talked about trust and safety. Okay? Love is a secure attachment that involves a deep affection, trust, and acceptance of another person. Guess what? Flaws and all. Okay? So you see how lust and love can look alike? But lust, all you want from lust is sex. Period. Point blank. That's all I need from you. Get it, hit it, and I'm done. Let's move on. That's what lust is. But love says love is a secure attraction. Notice I said secure. I didn't say love is an attraction. No, love is a secure attraction that involves trust, deep affection, and acceptance. Lust ain't that deep, y'all.
Let me throw some stuff in here right quick.
Go, honey.
Look, in my book, I actually make a sort of an analysis, if you will. But anyway, I make this comparison. Let me use the word comparison.
Okay.
With lust and love. There are some family members who are first cousins, but really you would think that they're sisters or brothers because they look so much alike. Right?
Yeah.
I got family members that literally we are first cousins, but we look alike, right? So hear me now. And the point I'm making to you is this, that's just how love and lust look. Yeah. They look so similar until you can start calling one lust and start calling other love when it's vice versa. And so I always tell people that lust is wanting, love is about wanting the best better for the other person. Lust is about wanting what's best for you.
Wait, say that one more time, because you got a little tongue-tied, and I think the people in the back was just like,
again. Love is wanting the best for the other person.
Okay.
Lust is about wanting what's best for me.
Yeah,
are y'all listening to me?
That's good.
Lust this time is about what you can get. Love is about what you can give. That's good right there. Are y'all listening to me? I'm trying to help y'all.
You going too fast. Yeah, they trying to write this down. Okay, hold on. I got him. Okay, go back and give that to him again.
I forgot what I said. I said lust is about what
you can give.
What you can give. Yeah, lust is about...
Lust is about what you can get.
Leave me alone now. Lust is about what you can get.
Right.
Love is about what you can give. Now,
yes.
See, you messing me up now. You messing me up. Let me go a little further. Lust is generally about taking, and love is about giving.
Y'all getting this? That's good.
Let me tell you when you know it's lust. when y'all don't really know each other. And you in the bed doing the nasty. Did I say that? Oh, gosh. I'm sorry, Miss Menace. I didn't mean to say it like that. That's what we said in New York. Ooh, they doing the nasty.
What y'all gonna do with him?
Ooh, they doing the nasty.
What are y'all gonna do with him?
Here y'all doing the nasty, don't even know each other. Let me keep going a little further. Here y'all doing the nasty, and you ain't even met his family yet.
What?
Let me keep going. Here y'all doing the nasty, and listen, and you ain't been around none of his friends. Now let me go a little further. Here y'all doing the nasty, and you ain't never stayed at his house. He always got to come to your house.
Oh boy.
Can I go a little further? Okay, let me stop.
Okay.
They're gonna think he crazy.
Okay. So, lust is shallow. This is what I want you all to remember.
Let me say one more thing. Listen to me now. Lust. I'm here another way to know whether you're in lust or love. When your relationship doesn't even evolve. Meaning,
it's the same.
It's the same. It's not evolving. It's in nothing bigger or better. That's lust, baby. It ain't love. Are y'all listening to me? If I'm telling the truth, y'all show me some love with their hearts.
Exactly.
Ha ha.
Exactly. So when you think about lust is shallow. Like I was saying earlier, there is no depth to lust whatsoever. Remember, love is a deep affection. Lust is shallow. There ain't nothing but lust. There ain't nothing to lust but taking your clothes off. That's all lust is. And that's the depth of it, taking your clothes off. And if you remember one time, Big Brother LK told us, it's lust when he can take your clothes off but won't help you put them back on.
Yeah, I did talk about that one night, huh?
You did. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
For my newcomers, listen to me good now. That's a lot of first timers on here. Now, I like to keep it real, and I can't help it. I'm just trying to help us to have better relationships. Have you ever noticed, ladies? Don't laugh at me now. Don't laugh at me. But have you ever noticed that we'll help y'all get y'all clothes off, but doggone it, we ain't probably never help you get them back on?
That's lust. Just wanted to let you know that's lust. Okay.
Y'all looking at me like that preacher, they're crazy. No, I'm just real.
That's it.
I'm sorry, I'm just real. See, y'all thinking about that thing like, you know what, he sure right.
For real.
I ain't thinking about that. He sure helped me he even know how to unsnap my bra. And then he struggled to get it back on. And like he don't know, be like, you go and get it yourself. Y'all forgive me for I know not what I'm doing.
Yes, he does.
Yes, I do.
Yes, he does.
I like to keep it real with y'all now. Listen to me now. I want to say this to you. I want y'all to hear me good on this. Seriously, hear me good on this. A man who has real intentions for your life will wait. Listen to me now. I'm going to say it. Read between the lines. Y'all grown. A man who has real intentions for your life is not going to want to draw you further away from a relationship with God, but he'll want to bring you closer. Now let me get serious and be spiritual, because I don't want y'all to think this fool here, he don't know no Bible. I know plenty. But I know I'm dealing with real people on this line tonight. Exactly. So hear me now. What I want you to understand is, one, ladies, you can do yourself a major favor if you do, like I said last week, control your hormones. Notice I said your hormones.
Keep the candy
store closed. Okay. Because listen to me now. When you give of yourself sexually to all of these different men, understand you're taking on those spirits that's in that person.
All of them.
That's why when ejaculation happens, it goes inside of you, you're taking on the spirits, and that's why you're trying to figure out, how is it so hard for me to get away from him? Or her, for that matter.
Why I can't stop thinking about him?
Why I can't get him off my mind? Why, when he texts me at 11 o'clock in the morning talking about what you doing, what you think I'm doing, it's about time to go to sleep.
11 o'clock in the morning?
That's why it's so hard for you to say no.
11 o'clock at night.
Because you've dealt with or are dealing with the spirits that they are carrying.
That's it.
And that's why some of y'all who have children by people who have some different situations going on, you're trying to figure out what's wrong with your child. I was even talking to this person one day, this guy one day, Hear me now. I was talking to this guy one day, and he was talking about his child in school, always in trouble in school. This is like a little 7-year-old, I think it was, 6 or 7-year-old at the time. Just going through all this stuff with his kid. I mean, he's just throwing tantrums. I asked him one question. I said, is there mental health issues in her family? And he said, yes. Welcome to the club.
That's it.
That's the issue.
Right.
You got to be careful who you hook up with, because whatever they have, you got.
That's it.
Are y'all listening to me? Oh, this kind of deep, huh? I know, but it's real. It's real.
It's the truth of the matter.
Whatever spirits they carry, mental health, schizophrenia, bipolar, if you fool with them, don't be surprised if you start acting out as well.
That's it. So we got that lust was shallow.
Stay away.
And you're now dealing with the second one, which lust is sexual. That's all lust is. So when you deal with just the sexual part, you got everything that comes after that. And you know that's lust. There's no depth to it. And the only thing that the other person wants from you is sex. So lust is shallow. Lust is sexual. Lust is superficial, meaning after a while, folks just lose interest. They don't want it no more.
Can I just give y'all a few examples of how you know whether it's lust or love? Watch this now. I'm talking from a man perspective tonight. Do y'all want to hear this? Mm-hmm. You know how they do it, church? You know, you had them gospel groups, quartets saying, do y'all want to hear them saying? Yeah. Do y'all want to hear some reasons of how to know that is lust? Because watch this. Let me show you what men do. And I'm not trying to bash men, because I've been one for 60 years. Or I know I'm looking, but yeah, I'm 60.
Okay.
But listen to me now. Listen. I'm gonna give you some examples of when you know it's lust, right? So you got a guy, right? Most times, guys who have that one thought in their mind, you know, lust.
Okay.
Most times what they want to do is chill at your house. You know, let's just sit around watching a movie. Let's just do this. And so you end up making it to the bedroom, right? So it's never like, let's go out to the movie. Let's go out to eat. Let's go out to, let's go just hang out with some friends. Okay. They don't want to do that because that relationship is not about to go to that level. Stop ignoring the signs. That's just one. I'm just going to give you a few more. Just give you a few more, okay? So listen to me. If he wants to just chill at your house all the time,
okay,
that's a sign that it's a lustful relationship. Can I keep going? Here he has his own place, and he never invites you over to stay all night. Now, I'm not saying that's what you're supposed to be doing anyway, because you need to put a ring on it. But even so, because I know some of y'all still going to be grown, because you're grown, that's what you do. I understand. I'm a man. I understand. So if you're not able to go over to his house,
right,
hang out all night, feel like you're free there, that might be a lustful relationship. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it might be. So just analyze it for yourself. Okay. So now he always got to come to your house. Now let me just go and say this off the record now, on the record rather.
Okay.
Now if he don't have his own place,
ooh,
you need to march anyway. Unless it's some real serious circumstance. Right. But other than that, if you dealing with a grown man and he ain't got his own place,
that's right.
Shame on you. Let's just tell the truth now. Tell the truth.
Because you won't change that.
I'm gonna say it again. If you dealing with a grown, rusty, dusty man and he ain't got his own place, can I just be honest and say it like I want to? You the fool.
Did y'all get that?
I know I wasn't supposed to say it like that, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Jesus even called the rich man a fool. Thou fool, this night. Now I know nobody hurt y'all. Y'all might tune me out, but it's okay. I'm trying to help y'all. Let's don't let a man suck up your air conditioning, eat your food, all that stuff, and you think you're in a love relationship. I told you, love is about what it gives, not what it can take.
Right.
And here you get broke, need money to pay the light bill. He act like he ain't got none. But you in love? You can't be that. No, you can't be that naive. At least I don't want you to be. I need you to march right out of that now. March right out of it. Now let me keep going because y'all might shut me out, but I'm going to get this out before y'all shut me out, right? When you know it's lust is when it goes, when your relationship, when y'all first meet, go from 0 to 60 real quick. Yeah. 0 to 60 real quick. Tracy
so you had to be on my paper because
I ain't seen your notes.
I said lust is swift.
When you meet a person and y'all go from 0 to 60 real quick, what I mean by 0 to 60, well, oh man, y'all just so in love. Then y'all in the bed within that next 2 or 3 days. Got lust right there, baby. Listen to me. Tracy, I bought Tracy a Trailblazer SS. Trailblazer SS is an SUV. It's a Trailblazer SUV Chevrolet came out with, but they had the SS model that has the Corvette engine in it. It came from the factory like that. So the tag says SS Too Fast.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm trying to. Here's the moral of the story with that. I'm saying to you, sister, slow down because you're going too fast.
But I like the
SS Too Fast. The point I'm making is don't be in a rush to run to the bedroom.
Yes.
Because a man who's looking to be in a real relationship with you, he's not going to let that be his main focus. Mm-hmm. He's going to try to get to know you mentally.
Right. Instant
Am I making
gratification.
sense? Can y'all tell me if I'm making sense?
Yeah. Lust is about instant
Can
gratification.
y'all show me some love if I'm making some sense? Now, I know some of y'all won't agree, but it's okay. You're going to find yourself, you got me going in circles. That's what y'all going to be saying to each other. Now, can I just talk about something that's real dear to me? That's real dear to me. I want y'all to hear me on this. Because in this time in which we're living, some of y'all are doing this too much. You're allowing what you call a relationship to be saturated with text messages instead of picking up the phone and calling. This is dear to my heart right here. Now I'm gonna move a little closer. Right. Listen to me, Instagram. Listen to me, Facebook. Don't allow yourself to be in what you call a relationship and the majority of your conversation is text messages. Yes, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Yes, and you grown.
And you grown.
And you grown.
And y'all texting back and forth. Right. Are you serious? Have you allowed yourself to be dwindled to that kind of sanity? No, that's sanity. In a relationship to where y'all going back and forth on a text. Now, if you're at work and y'all texting some nice things to each other throughout the course of the day, that's a whole different ballgame. Right. Because a man who really is serious about you, he's not going to let you go all day without not saying something to you. Now, I understand that point, but I'm saying that y'all both at home and y'all texting each other or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he at work, that's a different story. We understand those circumstances. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying the majority of the time, y'all women have gotten to the point where y'all settle for text messaging conversations. March out of that foolishness.
Settle. Lust settles. Let me give y'all another.
Boy, I'm just talking.
Let me give y'all another S. Lust settles. How about that? Mm-hmm. Lust settles.
Here's another way we know whether it's love or lust. You don't have to fight for his attention. Whoo, boy.
I'm blinking for you. I know. You don't have to fight for his attention. You ain't got to get him off that game. You ain't got to tell him he hang out with his boys too much. You ain't got to tell him that he always gone. Listen, if it's love, he gonna want to spend time with you. If it's love, she gonna be right there with you. She gonna want to be up under you watching a movie with you.
I'm trying to help you. I'm just trying to help y'all.
Okay.
Am I talking good tonight? I'm serious. Am I talking good?
They scrolling a lot, baby.
They scrolling.
I'm
just trying to listen to me now. Listen to me. My main thing is to try. You want to see this? Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to help us to develop real solid relationships. Listen to me now. I'm just trying to help us to. I'm not trying to pull the cover off of brothers, but I'm trying to help ladies to understand. Hear me good now. You can, you ever notice, here's another thing. Watch this real quick. Have you ever noticed that when you y'all first meet, oh man, it's just so intense and so great. The conversation, oh man, the first 2, 3, 4 weeks, it's just great. We just clicking. Oh man, we just clicking.
That's real.
We just clicking. It's like, it's like we've been knowing each other for a long time. Mm-hmm. Let me just throw y'all some of the lines. You know what though? I don't know where you been all my life. I mean, it's like, wow,
he is spilling the tea for y'all.
You just really the one I've been,
come on now.
Just keep going through all this foolishness, just reeling you in. Just reeling you in. It making you feel like, oh Lord, you just the one. Listen, watch this now, watch this. And the one that made you smile, about 6 to 9 months, a year later, that's the same one making you cry. Come on, tell the truth now. Y'all act like I ain't telling the truth. You know you just a smile, just a happy. Oh man, you just lovey-dovey. And then listen, as time goes on,
you get caught up.
Hey, here's one of my favorite songs. I like giving the lyrics. I hadn't done this in a couple months. P.J. Morton, when he had a group out called Freestyle Nation, he had a song out that relates to many of us. The song was called Emotions in Disguise. Emotions in disguise. I'm going to take about 10 seconds, and we're going to deal with this other part, and we're going to be out. The song says, in the beginning, it all started right. But as time went on, we started to fight. Started to blow away like a leaf in the sky. Still, I didn't understand why, oh why. You know what he said? It felt like love. It was how I wanted to feel. He said it smelled like love. Its fragrance was real. He said it looked like love. It even had love's eyes. But all it was emotions in disguise. And that's what some of y'all deal with time after time. Time after time. All because you have gotten to the place where you're calling lust love. Where you're calling lust love.
Did y'all get that? Lust, L-U-S-T, is not love, L-O-V-E. Okay? We've given you the two definitions, one for lust, one for love. We said that lust, we keep saying lust is shallow. Lust is sexual. We said that lust is superficial. We said lust is swift, because 1 minute y'all dating, the next minute y'all in the bed. We said that lust is shaky and shady. And that was just him talking about it.
You went through that too quick. Lust is what now?
Lust is shallow.
Okay, you just read off a bunch of them, didn't you?
I did, because we just about out of time.
We ain't gonna worry about time. They'll stick around for about 5 extra minutes.
Okay. Lust is shallow, meaning, listen, ain't no depth to it. Ain't no substance. You getting it, hitting it, and that's all you doing.
Hey, let me stop for 1 second. I want to ask y'all. No, I'm not gonna ask y'all ladies a question. I want to make a suggestion to every lady on here.
Okay.
To every lady on here.
Okay.
If you are in a relationship and you're not married and you're engaged in sexual innuendos, here's my suggestion to you. Here's my suggestion. Put a cease to it and see what your relationship is made out of. Put a halt to it. And see what your relationship is made out of. And if you do that, this time next Sunday, you're going to march out without even having me to say anything to you. What? Mark what I'm telling you now. It ain't going to take about a week.
This time next week.
Well, let me say it like this, because some of y'all are a little older on here, like 50s and 60s, so he ain't interested in every week anyway. So the point I'm making is just wait a while, and you'll see what the relationship is made out of. So the only thing I'm simply saying in a nutshell is, if you're having sex, just stop it and see what the relationship is. See if you got substance or shallowness.
Just hit the pause button. We're going to pause.
I'm just as crazy as I can be. I can't help it, though. I'm just trying to help us.
You see. All right, so we're going to do this so we can get out, because I need y'all.
I got to deal with one thing.
What?
Veronica Brockington says, I'm having flashbacks of those types of conversations. LOL. Thank you, Jesus, I've been delivered. Those conversations where, just say all this nice stuff to you, just make you feel like you the one. You the one, baby. You the one.
Just reeling you in. All right, so we said lust was shallow. We said lust was sexual. We said lust was superficial, meaning that you lose interest when the rep go on their merry little way, because the rep shows up and the rep look good and the rep says what the rep needs to say to get the sale, and the sale is just simply you in bed. So I'm just saying.
Ooh.
I'm just saying. Okay. Lust is superficial. Next, we said lust was swift. It's instant gratification. 1 minute, y'all sitting there having a nice conversation at dinner. 2 days later, y'all in bed. It's instant gratification. He can help you get the bra off, but he ain't gonna help you put the bra back on.
Ooh.
Okay.
Can I just say one thing? One thing just hit me, right? You know the phrase that we use a lot? Most people use a lot of times? They use the phrase, yeah, we fell in love. And when you think about the word fall, you actually think about something that drops, right? Mm-hmm. If I fall, it means I dropped.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with many people. Y'all are falling in love. You're calling it love, but it's really lust. You don't have to fall into love. You actually work your way
into love.
Into love.
I was going to say walk your way into love. But I like work too.
You got to work your way into love.
Gotta walk it
fall
down.
in love.
Yeah.
Yeah, we fell in love.
No, we worked into love.
How is it that
Mm.
most time the words "I love you" when y'all? No, go to the last one.
What? We said lust was shaky and
I started asking
shady.
that question.
We said lust was shaky and shady because it makes you impulsive and desperate. So lust is shaky and shady because now you become impulsive and desperate to get their attention. You impulsive, you're going to do whatever you need to do, and you desperate because you want to keep them. So that's lust.
I want to ask one more question, and we got about 7 minutes. We're gonna be out. I want to ask y'all a question, ladies and men. Ladies and men. This is a question for ladies and men.
Okay.
I want you, who is that, Betty Wright? I want you to think back on that very first time.
Not Betty Wright.
I ain't talking about sex though. I'm talking about that y'all said I love you to each other.
In
any relationship that you've been in, just think about the first time y'all said I love you, or he or she said I love you to each other, and ask yourself, was it during, was it after, or was it just because we were having a conversation and we just knew then that we loved each other? You ain't got to answer it now. You ain't got to answer it.
Was it during or after what, honey? Because you got to break that down.
I ain't got to break that down.
You got to break that down.
They know what I'm talking about.
Y'all don't know what he's talking about, do you? Y'all want him to break that down?
Ask yourself, was it before?
Before. During.
After? Or was it just during a nice conversation that was very intense where y'all were just like, yes, this is it. You know what, girl, I love you. But most times when those words are used, it's like during, oh, girl, oh, I love you. Or it's after.
Ooh, I love you.
Let me keep going. I'm sorry. I'm about to get out of here.
Okay, so you enter a relationship with a lie, and then it becomes lustful. You all in your lust now. Yep, you feeling yourself. And then eventually, what ends up happening is you grow lonely in this relationship.
She girl told my pastor go put him in. She said put pastor in the timeout corner. I ain't been that bad tonight. I hope anyway.
Listen, this is the norm. This is what we do at 2704. Come on now. All right. So
okay, go ahead with the loneliness. We about done.
We about done. So here's what loneliness is. When you deal with loneliness, what ends up coming out of loneliness, like a byproduct of loneliness, is disappointment. You disappointed because the relationship didn't go in the direction you wanted it to go. And so now you lonely and you disappointed. And guess what? Disappointed leads to depression. And you sitting there trying to figure out, how did you end up here? Not once, not twice. Some of us are hard-headed and we end up there multiple times. We end up starting at the relationship and knowing we done caught them in a lie. But because we being lustful, we want to stay in it, and now we lonely. And not only are we lonely, but now we getting desperate, and then we disappointed, and now we depressed. Come on now.
I like what you must have said this because I need y'all to hear this. Lust is a lie that will leave you lonely. Lust is a lie
that will leave you lonely. That was good. So listen.
Thank you, Lisa.
Lushandra.
Lisa Lushandra.
All right, Lisa Lushandra.
Lust is a lie that will leave you lonely. I like that.
So we're going to run through these, and I want y'all to pay attention as we talk about loneliness.
Take your time. Take your time now.
So how do you know when you're in a relationship? Listen to me. How do you know when you're in a relationship or you in a lustful ship? Can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you know when you're in a relationship or a lustful ship? Listen, loneliness tells us things about our relationship or lustful ship. Loneliness tells us things, and oftentimes we ignore it because we desperate.
Ladies, this is for y'all, so I'm going to let her handle this.
Okay? Oftentimes we ignore the lies. Oftentimes we ignore the lust. And oftentimes what ends up happening is we end up lonely. But loneliness tells us a lot of things about the lustful ship we in or the relationship we in. The first thing that loneliness tells us is that there's a disconnect in whatever we in, whatever ship we find ourselves in. There's a disconnect somewhere.
Elaborate.
Okay? There's a disconnect because I'm lonely, and most times when I'm lonely, either you sitting right here with me and we don't know what we're doing because there's no connection to us other than sex.
Ooh, that's good.
Or
that's good.
I am alone because you doing your own thing, and the disconnect is that you got somebody else other than me.
Ooh, that's good too.
I'm just saying. There's a disconnect somewhere.
Okay.
Loneliness is a sign that there's a disconnect in whatever ship you finding yourself in. Okay?
And what about if they ain't got nobody?
What, loneliness?
Uh-huh.
We're dealing with lust, lies, and loneliness.
I know, but I'm saying some women don't have anybody.
There's a disconnect with yourself.
Oh, okay. That's what I was trying to see.
Okay, yeah. Okay, we on the same page now. Yeah, there's a disconnect with yourself. There's a difference between, getting tongue-tied. There is a difference between being alone and being lonely. Physically alone, meaning there's nobody else in the house with you. That's alone. But you can be in a relationship or a lustful ship and be lonely. Meaning that the person is right there with you, but there's a disconnect because you don't know who you are and you don't know what you are in this relationship or lustful ship or whatever this ship is that you find yourself in.
That's true.
And then when we even talk about ourselves, you're lonely because you don't even know how to spend time with yourself, to love on yourself, to make yourself feel good. People need to know how to self-soothe. That's why people turn to drugs and pornography and alcohol and all this other stuff. Shopaholics. There is such a thing. Those are called process addictions. Women who shop too much, that could be an addiction. It's a process addiction. Okay? So now you're trying to fix yourself, to make yourself feel better by shopping. You're trying to make yourself feel better by watching pornography. You're trying to make yourself feel better. There's a disconnect. You disconnected. Okay? That's when loneliness is trying to tell you something. Loneliness also tells you that when loneliness shows up, there's damage somewhere. Damage. It could be a broken heart. It could be trauma that you hadn't dealt with.
You know, and I think that's the part where Bobby Womack comes in.
Okay.
And wrote that song.
What?
If you think you're lonely now. Ooh, yeah. Wait until tonight, girl. Okay, I'm done.
All right. So.
Damage.
There's trauma that you need to deal with. There is a broken heart that you need to deal with. There is something in your past that's showing up, that's tapping on your shoulder, and it looks like loneliness. And that means that you need to deal with it. So there's disconnect, there's damage, there's a decay. So let's talk about this. When you go to the dentist, sometimes the dentist say, oh, you got some tooth decay that we need to deal with. How do you get tooth decay? Do y'all know? Okay? Sometimes tooth decay comes when we don't pay enough attention to our tooth and we don't take care of them the way we should. We eat too much of something that erodes the enamel on our tooth. Too much of a good thing can actually be bad for you. Okay? I love sugar. I will eat cakes instead of eating food sometimes. Okay? Too much of a good thing, cake, can lead to tooth decay if I don't take care of my tooth. What am I trying to tell you? Loneliness sometimes causes decay, meaning you got to do a better job of taking care of yourself. The better job you do at taking care of yourself, the better job you do at showing up for other people. Okay? So when you don't take care of yourself, the best you can't show up for somebody else. And then you end up falling for the lust. You end up falling for the lies. And you end up lonely again. Does that make sense? So there's decay. So there's disconnect, there's damage, there's decay, and then there's decline. So let's talk about the decline, because decline can also mean depression as well. When we are lonely, we stop taking care of ourselves sometimes.
Exactly.
We show up any kind of way. We don't go get our hair done. We don't worry about getting our manicures and our pedicures. We don't care how we show up to work. Our clothes look disheveled on us. Our faces look all jacked up. We eat too much or we don't eat enough. We don't drink enough water. We don't exercise enough. We don't get our vitamin D, meaning exercise in the sunlight. We just decline. We're on a decline. We don't even care about how we show up sometimes. That's also depression. Okay? So, when loneliness shows up, loneliness is just simply trying to tell us something. Loneliness tells us there's a disconnect, there's damage, there's decay, there's decline. Loneliness tells us there's a deficit. What is it that you need to build back up? Because when you dealt with lust and you dealt with lies, listen, a part of you is gone. A part of you has been taken away. Your cup is empty. How do you fill your cup back up? That goes back to you taking care of you. How do you pour back into you? Listen, sometimes for men, that means they go to the next woman. You'll never hear a man say he's lonely. You'll never hear a man say he's lonely. You know why? Because men don't let themselves get to that point.
They do sometimes.
Very rarely.
Yeah, sometimes.
Very rarely.
Very rarely. Because we'll let, before we get to a place where we go into a lonely or lonely state.
Right.
We'll pick up the phone and go find somebody to fix that temporary issue.
That's what I was about to get to.
That's missing inside of us.
Exactly. Before men get that low, they will go to the next relationship. Oh, they'll go to the next ship. How about that? Okay. So, women, there's a disconnect, or men, there's a disconnect, there's damage, there's decay, there's decline, there is a deficit. Now, there's danger. Because the longer you stay in loneliness, now we're getting dangerous. Now things start to look grim. Because the longer you stay in depression without help, the longer you stay in loneliness without help, there is a danger to yourself. And not only to yourself, there could be a danger to others. So we want to make sure.
There's also vulnerability too.
I was about to get to that one.
Okay.
Are you on my notes?
No, I hadn't looked at your notes.
Okay, because he
just rolled like
he
that.
He just all right here with his wife tonight. There's a danger to not only you, but there's a danger to other people around you. Now, go ahead and say what you were going to say, because I want you to talk about that.
What am I talking about?
What you just said.
What did I say?
I can't. We need to hurry up, because I need y'all to go do y'all view. And then the last thing is the death. So when there's loneliness.
Vulnerability.
Yeah, vulnerability. So the last thing is there's a death. Okay? Now, go ahead. Vulnerability.
No, vulnerability, I mean, again, when you find yourself lonely, you end up, sometimes falling victim to someone calling you, and, and you'll find yourself in a place where you get hurt even more because of the fact that loneliness is set in. But I also wanted to address one of the brothers that came in a little late. He was saying a lot of times these conversations seem like they're geared towards men, but we always like to make it sort of from both sides, where men and women both lie, men and women both cheat. But here's what I have to say in essence to the real truth, Brother OJ, is that when you think about relationships, men are supposed to be the ones who help set the standard, if you will, for relationships, but we've not done a great job. And that's why a lot of times it seems like these conversations are geared specifically towards men, or it may sound like it's men bashing, but we've got to be able to be honest with ourselves. And I'm saying from experience, I'm guilty of saying what women wanted to hear to get what I wanted. And so what we have done, and again, that's why we're doing these conversations, to try to help build better relationships between our culture, because if we don't, what we end up doing is we end up sending our women to other races, or we end up sending our women to other women. Say amen, somebody. And so we've got to do a better job of really being able to be okay with these conversations sounding like they're geared towards men. And I'm going to end with this one thing, and I guarantee the women will agree with me on this. If you give a woman attention, communication, affection, and honesty, she'll go to the moon and back with you.
That's it.
I'm going to say that one more time. If you give a woman attention, communication, affection, and honesty, she'll go to the moon with you.
That's it.
But we don't do a good job of giving them that. And that's why it sounds like these conversations are always geared towards men, because they need to be.
And ladies have to do a better job of making sure they set themselves up for success. If you keep acting like low-hanging fruit,
that's what you're going to get.
That's what you're going to keep getting, ladies. Listen, when we expect more from ourselves first, then men will show up better. That's it. We got to stop letting them just show up any kind of way. And as long as we keep doing that to ourselves, they ain't got nothing to get better about.
If y'all got a topic y'all want us to deal with, a topic y'all want us to deal with from whoever.
A man perspective. OJ, since you were talking,
send us one. We'll talk about it.
We ain't scared.
We talk about these women who trifling just as trifling as men. I agree with you. I wholeheartedly agree.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
That's it. Bye, guys.
Take care, y'all. Be blessed.